Hey everyone, it's Frank Profeta. I'm on my 5th week of DIV Ozone Therapy treatment, and I wanted to share with you a little progress along my journey. So a lot of things have happened in the last couple of weeks. I've learned a lot, and I wanted to share that information with you. Some tips on what to do, and more importantly, what not to do to have a successful ozone therapy treatment. Let's get started. Now, there's a few things that you're going to need when doing the DIV home ozone therapy. You're going to need a few things. First, you're going to need an ozone generator. I happen to use a Stratus 3.0 ozone generator from Simply 03. I find it very good for what I need. You're going to need some hydrogen peroxide. You'll also need a cotton swab, a tourniquet. Very important, you want to have a hot cloth. I usually put this in the microwave for about 30 seconds. Make sure you have a fair amount of water, not that it's dripping. I have two 60 cc ozone. It has to be ozone syringes. Don't get the regular ones, because what'll happen is the ozone will break down the different forms of plastic in there, and then you'll wind up injecting bad things into your body. So you want to get an ozone safe syringe. The next thing you're going to need is a very important part. It's a scalp vein set. I get these online. Excel makes them. You need a 27 gauge 3/4, and this is also a 12-inch butterfly, and I'm going to show you that in a second. Okay, so very, very important. You don't need a big needle. You just need a 27 gauge 3/4. That's it. I also have some forceps here, so I can clamp off when I'm switching syringes. Very important, you want to have a piece of tape. Actually, you want two small pieces of medical tape, so this way you can actually tape the butterfly to your arm so it doesn't come out. And then at the end, after you are finished, you want to just put a Band-Aid on where you're going. Let me show you the ozone settings right now. So right now, I'm using the Simply 03, ozone generator. Now, if you take a quick look here, there's a chart. It's called settings, and then you have ozone concentration. For today, I'm going to be using a 40 concentration, which otherwise known as 40 gamma, and that's going to be setting number 9 on my flow setting on my oxygen regulator. So I have my oxygen tank here, and this is actually an industrial oxygen tank. Okay, you can get this at any welding store. So I happen to get a fairly good size oxygen tank, and this has lasted me about a whole year already. So this is a oxygen regulator, and over here, if you take a look, you'll have different settings. You hear the oxygen coming out. All right, 2, 3, this goes all the way up to 11, okay? This over here is just a dial, and the gauge actually will tell you how much oxygen you have left in your tank, okay? So for today's purposes, I'm gonna be putting this setting to setting number 9, so this way I get a 40 concentration. Now, it's very important you have all this prepped in advance, okay? Because you don't wanna be running around looking for things in the middle of doing your DIV treatment, okay? So one of the other things I wanted to point out, you see this? I have a stopwatch on the computer. You can put it on your phone, your iPad, whatever it is, because what I'm gonna be doing is I wanna make sure that when I'm injecting at 1 cc per 20 to 30 seconds. Now, I find that in my body, in my arms, the medium to large veins, I can get away with 20 seconds and 1 cc every 20 seconds. So very, very important. If you're going with a smaller vein, when I do hit the smaller veins, I'm definitely going 30 seconds, 1 cc. And the reason is you'll wind up getting phlebitis. Phlebitis is basically the inflammation of the vein. Your vein does not have the enzyme catalase. It's an antioxidant enzyme called catalase. Now, when you're pushing the ozone in there, and ozone is going into your vein, ozone is an oxidant. You push too fast, what's going to happen is you're going to irritate the vein wall, and you're going to get a swollen vein inside your arm, and it's going to be painful. So what I do is I make sure when I'm hitting a medium to large vein, I do 20 20 seconds, 1 cc. And if it's a smaller vein, I'm definitely doing 1 cc every 30 seconds. The biggest thing for me is having the patience to make sure that I do not go faster than I'm supposed to. So this stopwatch up on the screen actually keeps me in check. So this way I'm on target and I'm not gonna hurt my veins at all. Okay, so very, very important to see that. I wanted to show you that. All right, so let's get started. I'm gonna roll up my sleeve and I'm gonna use my right arm. I've noticed that my right arm is actually a lot easier to hook a vein, okay? So it's definitely a lot easier for me on my right arm. So what I've done in advance also is I've just taken a 20-minute shower and I've gotten my veins prepped that way so my body's nice and hot. Usually you'll find your veins will be more exposed on your skin, so you'll be able to see them a lot better. I recommend doing that as a prep for a 20-minute shower, so this way it's easier to access your veins. The other thing also, I had some friends that actually will get one of those lights that you can get on Amazon, anywhere from $30 to $600. You don't have to go crazy, but it's a light and it looks like an infrared light and it will actually show you where your veins are on wherever you put it. So let's say on your arm, it'll show you. So this way it's easier to access veins. My veins are pretty big, so I don't have the light. I might check it out in the future just so I can post it and share this information with you. But right now, I don't need to do that. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna turn the oxygen on right now. Okay, I'm gonna put my setting at 9 on the oxygen concentrator, okay? And I showed you that before, so the dial is just switched over to 9. What I'm gonna do also right now is I'm gonna put the tourniquet on, okay? Very, very simple to do, okay? Now, you notice this, this is very loose on me, okay? So you don't, if you have a short sleeve, it would be better to do that. I'm just showing you what I'm doing right now with what I'm wearing. So I'm gonna put the tourniquet just over my arm here, okay, and it's still pretty loose. Now I'm gonna tighten it, okay? So it's tightened. You want it pretty tight, not where it's like, oh my gosh, it's hurting my arm. You don't want that, all right? Next, what we're gonna do is while this tourniquet is on, all right, we're gonna take the butterfly out, okay, and just take it out of the wrapper. And this is what we got. We have a hose on the end, which is great because this, if there's any movement, it's not going to affect the butterfly. Now, just so you know, the butterfly, you want the bevel faced up on the needle. So if you're not familiar with it, you take a look at it, you can look at it, but where you see the actual syringe, the butterfly is on the back end. That means the bevel faced up on this particular brand here. Okay, so we'll put that there. Now I'm going to take 2 pieces of tape, really small. This is all you need. I'm going to stick them on the edge of the table here, okay, and have that ready. Now, the next thing I'll do is I'll put a little bit of hydrogen peroxide on the cotton swab here. And now here's one thing that I do is I actually put the dates on my syringes because look, ozone breaks down, it breaks down items like the plastic. Even though this is an ozone safe syringe, it over time is still going to degenerate the material in the syringe. So what I do is I just mark the date here, and I usually get about 2 weeks out of an ozone syringe, and then I just rotate it, okay? So very, very important to see. Make sure you open your Band-Aid and have that all set up and ready. Okay, I'm just gonna put all this stuff here. Tapes there, got that. Okay, so here we go. Now I'm gonna stick myself, so let me just take the camera and I'm gonna put the camera in close so you can actually see me insert the needle. Here's what I'm gonna do, okay? I'm gonna actually grab one of my ozone syringes. I'm gonna actually turn the machine on, okay? Now I'm gonna connect this. Now this is a filter. I just have the filter on there just so everything is filtered. You really don't have to worry about it because it's a closed system, because whatever's in the container, the oxygen tank, is gonna come through. It's a closed system, so dust particles don't. I just happen to use this way where I'll fill the first one, I'll empty it, and then what I'll do is then I will inject. So I'll bring this up right here. Now also what I want you to do is make sure you're in a room that's well ventilated, okay? One time I had inhaled a little bit of ozone and I started coughing, so a little bit of vitamin C will handle that, but we don't want to take vitamin C on or near when we do ozone. And the reason is because ozone is an oxidant, vitamin C is an antioxidant, and it will definitely neutralize one another. And there's a video out there from Dr. O, and he has been really good on putting that video out there for us so we can actually see how vitamin C will neutralize ozone virtually immediately. So I'm having the hot compress that I threw in the microwave for about 30 seconds. Put that on there. Okay. Now I'm going to just pull the little cap off the syringe. All right. And here's what I do. So when I'm full, I'll do that. Shut the machine off. Put this on. Now I filled a little bit above the 60, and I'm going to tell you why I filled a little bit above the 60, because I'm going to flush out whatever air is inside the tube. All right, you smell a little ozone doing that? Okay, so now that's done. All right, my veins are ready to rock and roll. What I'm going to do here is I'm just going to put a little bit of the peroxide on. I'm going to take the cap off the syringe. Sorry, the needle, okay? And I don't know if you could see this here. I want to make sure I get a good shot. All right, you see my vein? It's really puffed up. It's really showing itself, so I'm going to be able to... Now, you want to get the right angle, and you want to get the right depth, all right? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go in on an angle, okay? And my veins are big, so they could have a tendency to roll. So what you can do is you could either put another tourniquet on this side to hold it, or hold it with your finger, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually stick myself right now. So we're going to go in on an angle like this. Okay. And then I'm just going to push it in right there. All right. So what I want you to see is right here. Okay. Can you see that? The vein is running. Very, very good. Now take the tourniquet off. Okay. And remember the tape that we had? We're going to take the tape. We're going to put the tape on one side and the other. Okay. So now it's taped down. What I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to start my timer over here. So this way it keeps me in line. All right, so the vein is running. I'm going to just push a little bit until I see the blood going back the other way. Okay. You might have to push about 2 to 4 cc's before the blood starts going back through the tube. That vein actually ran good. This is a very big vein for me, so at this point, it should be a really, really good injection. Now, typically, I'm not standing up while I do this, okay? What I like to do is I like to either sit in a chair, like to have my legs up just for flow. You don't want to cross your legs, your arms, or anything like that. So, all right, see it? There we go. So now what's happening at this point is you are going to start putting ozone. So I'm at, let's see, 1, 2, I'm at 60, it's actually 56, okay? So I'm looking at the clock, 57, 58, 59. All right, I'm gonna start, I'm gonna push 1 cc. Now, I can actually feel it, believe it or not, I can feel it right here. I can hear the bubbles coming up my arm and into my neck. Don't get scared, okay? That's normal, but you wanna go slow. Now you take a look at the clock, all right? It's coming up to 17, 18, 19, I'm at 20, so I'm gonna push another 1 cc in there, okay? Very important to see this. Take your time. I have to take my time. I have a tendency to sometimes rush things, and that's not good, especially when you're doing medical ozone treatment, direct intravenous injection, okay? So this is what I do. I'm hit 40, that's another 20, so guess what? I just did another half on the line there because each line represents 2. So I just did another 1 cc. Okay, now the way that you hold the syringe here, okay, is you literally will grab with your fingers here. You have this in your hand and you pull. Okay, so we're at 20, there's another 20 seconds, and I'm pulling the top part, all right, of the syringe This way I can feel it. Now, if you feel any pushback, okay, I want you to be very mindful of this. If you feel any pushback where it's not going, do not force it. And I'm going to tell you why. We're at another 20 seconds. I'm going to do another 1 cc. The reason why I don't want you to push it, okay, is because there's obviously something that's clogging, whether the vein collapsed or there's a clog in the line. You don't want to continue to push that, because if that breaks through and you're pushing a lot, you're going to jack yourself up good, because you're going to put a lot of pressure into your vein, and you don't want to do that. The other reason you don't want to do that, okay, another 20 seconds, so we're going to do another cc here. The other reason you don't want to do that is because if you push and the vein is collapsed up here at the top, okay, what's going to happen is the ozone will backfeed your vein all the way around, okay? I've had it happen. Trust me, the whole vein will swell up and your arm will hurt for days, okay? So don't do that, all right? Number one, it's dangerous. And number two, what's going to happen is you're going to swell up your vein, you're going to get phlebitis, and you're going to cry that it hurts, and it does, okay? And it'll be like that for quite some time. All right, that was another 20 seconds. So you take a look, we're at 50, sorry, I got to go backwards. It's actually 2 is minus, so we're at 47 right now, okay? I'm waiting up. It's 3 minutes, 38 seconds, 39 seconds, 40 seconds. Guess what? I just put another 1 cc in there. And you can also see if you're getting back pressure, okay, but if you just release a little pressure here, you'll actually see the plunger go backwards. Don't push it after that. Just take it out. Put yourself, put pressure on your vein, and then a couple minutes later, just put the Band-Aid on. Don't mess with it. Another 1 cc, okay, because I'm at 4 minutes. Now remember, I have a large vein here. It's a medium to large size vein. I'm doing 1 cc every 20 seconds, okay? If it was a smaller vein, like on the side here, I will definitely be doing 1 every 30 seconds. So at that point, you just don't want to get the phlebitis. Believe me, I'm so smart, because I've screwed it up myself, and I've given myself phlebitis, and it does hurt for days, okay? So this is what I'm doing here. Now I'm going to inject this, okay? Another 20 seconds there. See, I'm going on the counts right here. So at 40, at 60, which is, it'll be coming up to 5 minutes. At 5 minutes, 20 seconds, 5 minutes, 40 seconds, 6 minutes. That's when I do the medium to large side veins. I will put in the 1 cc per 20 seconds. There we go. We're at 5 minutes. So what does that mean? We're up to another cc. The thing is to have patience, people. If you don't have patience, you're going to blow up your vein, and it's going to be very, very sore. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the video so you don't have to watch this for the next 10 minutes, because I do have about 10 minutes left. Another cc. Okay, it takes about 15 minutes for me to do an ozone treatment for 1 syringe. If it's a smaller vein, again, I go slower. It takes about 20 minutes. No rush. There is no rush here. If you have things to do, don't do your ozone treatment, because you're going to be very frustrated. Look, I hooked this vein, all right? I hooked this vein right away. Sometimes that doesn't happen, and that's why I have an extra scalp vein set right here, because if you don't get the vein the first shot, what you want to do is try it again. But once you go past 2 or 3 times with the same needle, number one, it's dulling. Number two, I don't want it to get clogged at the end with any blood and have any back pressure. So I put a brand new scalp vein needle set on the side, just in case I miss it. And let me tell you, my right arm, it behaves itself. I'm able to get a very, very good vein most of the time. And then on my left arm, for some reason, it just doesn't want to cooperate. And at that point, it's not cooperating. I usually have a bunch of pinholes in there, and it can be a little painful. But what I do is I rotate these, I rotate the arm every other day. So one day I'll use my right arm, one day I'll use my left arm, and I'm doing ozone therapy treatment, okay, 4 days a week, and I give myself 3 days rest. Now, the reason I'm doing that is because I want to give my body a break, first of all. I want to give my veins a break, okay? But the other reason is your body needs some time to filter out all the crap. And it's very, very good to just give it a rest, all right? You can't be doing ozone every single day, especially the high dose that I'm doing. Now I'm doing 2 syringes, 60 cc syringes in the morning, and I'm doing 2 in the evening. Okay, so you're darn right I want to give my veins a break. Okay, so it's very, very important to understand that. Now that's a lot of ozone. Now typically when I was going to see Dr. Robbins for my DIV ozone therapy, what I would do is I would go there and I'd get one of these 60 cc syringes, and then I would go home. Okay, and I would go to Dr. Robbins 4 days a week. Well, guess what? I'm getting the same amount of ozone. Now, guys, keep in mind, I've worked up to it, okay? I've worked up to 4 syringes per day. So I'm getting a week's worth that I would get with Dr. Robbins in 1 day. If you do the math, in 1 week, I'm getting a month's worth of ozone that I would get with Dr. Robbins, okay? So why do I say that? Number one, I've had a little over 45 treatments with Dr. Robbins, and I paid attention and I see how he does it. Okay, I have the correct equipment, okay, and I started myself at a low dose with low volume, and I worked my way up to it. This is not something that all of a sudden I'm like, yeah, let's just do 260 cc syringes in the morning and let's do it at night. I don't do that, okay? It's very, very important that you see that I didn't just jump into it this way. Look, as you're getting used to, okay, another 20 seconds, we're gonna go another cc. What happens is, as you're getting used to it, you might get a tightness in your chest. Your blood pressure will go up a little bit. It'll come down at about 20 minutes, but what happens is your blood pressure will go up as you're doing ozone. It just happens. That's what happens for me. If you just lay on your bed and relax for about 20 minutes, it'll come down. And I've actually used a blood pressure machine, so I can actually monitor my blood pressure and I see what goes on. Look, I can also feel it in my chest and I can feel it in my head a little bit, but it goes right down. The other thing also to be mindful of, okay, and I wanted to share this with you as well, is if you do get a little tightness in the chest there, okay, you don't have to go increasing your ozone or even stay at the same. You can back off a little bit. Maybe cut the volume from 60 to another cc. Cut the volume from 60 to 30 or 60 to 40, okay? Look, it's not a race. You got to get your body accustomed to it. One of the other things I wanted to mention also is when you take supplements, okay? I've been to various clinics around the world. I've been to Neomed over in Cyprus. I've had 10 passes there, and I've had 720 passes. Now, before, I didn't realize that vitamin C would neutralize ozone, and guess what? It actually neutralizes the ozone. And I was taking supplements before, having my antioxidant smoothies just either before or after, and guess what? It was neutralizing what I just did. If you're going to take supplements, my best recommendation here is if you're doing ozone twice a day, you're doing it in the morning, take these supplements in the middle of the day, and then when you do your ozone at night, okay, you're going to not have the supplements just bombarding or your antioxidants. When I talk about supplements, I'm talking about your antioxidant supplements. It's not going to be in the way of neutralizing your ozone. If you look at what Dr. O says, Dr. O will tell you that you want to do your supplements. If you're doing ozone at night, you want to do your supplements in the morning. If you're doing your ozone in the morning, you want to do your supplements in the evening. So what you want to do is you want to have approximately 6 to 9 hours or more in between. Since I'm doing ozone twice a day, I do my first ozone treatment in the morning, and then at night, what I do is I do my second one and I take my supplements right in the middle of the treatment. Okay, so very, very important to see that. And a lot of people are asking, well, you know, what did you start out at? The first week I started out at 30, the first day, okay? So I started out at a very low concentration of 30 gamma and 30 cc's in a syringe. The next day I added 10. I went to 40 cc's. The third day I was at 50 cc's, okay? and then so on. And then I went up to a full syringe, okay? So I gradually built myself up. By the third week, I was doing 2 syringes and I was doing a 34 gamma, okay? The fourth week, I stayed, I did 2 60 cc syringes, and then I went up to 40 gamma on the fourth week. So what am I doing the fifth week? Doing the same thing at 40 gamma, and I'm gonna stay until my body really gets used to it, because I was getting really, when I went and did the double syringes in the morning and in the evening, my chest was really tight and it was a little bothersome. I got a little anxious about it, but I definitely looked forward to the days off for letting my veins relax, letting my body relax with the non-treatment days. So anyway, this is where we're at here, okay? I'm almost done. I'm gonna just shut the video off real quick. I have 20 cc's left here, and then what I'm gonna do is return when I get to the end of the syringe, so this way you can see how I change it over, okay? So we're gonna stop the video and return back in just a few minutes here, and I'll show you exactly how I switch over. Okay, I'm back. So I'm at 17 minutes right now, and if you take a look, the syringe is almost at the end there. So what I want to start doing is I'm actually going to turn this on, connect my syringe, coming up to 20 seconds, put another cc in there. Okay, so I'm gonna let that pop out real quick and see what we have going on. Now, couple of things. You want to get this ready in advance. That's why I just did that. I'm at 20 seconds, 1 more cc. So I literally have 2 more cc's left in here. Okay. 20 seconds is almost here. Now, what I'm going to do is, let's put this down here. I always flush the first one on, because I haven't used this syringe in a little bit. All right, 20 seconds. I'm going to push. I don't know if it's 30, it doesn't make a difference and stuff. So I'm just doing that so this way I have enough time for it to get up there. Now, if you notice, I literally have 1 cc left. What you're going to notice is when you get the clamps and you're ready to switch over, okay, you're going to start, you may start seeing the vein run and the blood go into the tube. That's fine. Okay, that means you still have a really good vein there. All right, I'm going to push the last cc in there. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the clip, all right, clip it right at the end, take this off, shut that down, and I'm going to connect this right. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to just push it up to 60, connect it real quick. Now I'm connected, okay, and I just unclip it. Now I clamp it right at the end there because I don't want any air going in there. Not that it would make too much of a difference because it's so minimal and you need a lot of regular air to do any damage to yourself, okay? And matter of fact, that's a good topic, because I've had some people say, oh my goodness, DIV, it's very, very dangerous and you can get embolisms and stuff. What I'm going to do is put out in the notes, okay, actually let's back this camera up over here. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put out in the notes, okay, Dr. Robbins on embolisms. Very, very important, because a lot of people say, oh my gosh, you're injecting air. It's not air. Air is composed of 83% nitrogen and about 21% oxygen, and then there's a few other things running around there. So my whole thing is, and I tell people it's not, it's oxygen with some ozone in it, and very, very important to see that, because it's not the same as regular air, okay? Theoretically, not that you would do it, okay, is you could put a whole thing of regular air into here and you're not going to die. Your body is designed to actually take care of any type of air bubbles that go into your body there. I'm going to put the whole talk that Dr. Robbins gave on air embolisms or on embolisms in general and ozone therapy in the comments section or in the description below. So this way you can take a look at that. It's a very good read, and I think everybody should definitely read up on it, and it'll put your mind at ease. Now, Dr. Robbins has done over 280,000 DIV treatments, okay, in the last 28 years. And I think he knows what he's doing. He's a very good man. I know him personally. I consider him a friend because I've been going to him for actually a whole year already. And you know what? He is a wealth of knowledge, okay? And it's somebody that I respect in the industry. All right. Well, I'm not going to bore you with the rest of this syringe. I have 52 cc's left. I'm at 28 minutes and 30 seconds. So I'm going to stop the video, okay? And we're going to come back so you can see how I unhook this and just put everything away. Another 20 seconds, one more cc. All right, I'll be back in a little bit. Okay, everybody, we're back here and I'm at 31. And we got about 10 cc's left in here. So we're just about finishing up. Guess what? Looks like the vein stopped with 10 cc's left. So let me bring this in so you can actually see what's happening here. Okay. Very, very important to see. So I'm pushing. Okay. So I'm at 10. You see that? I'm going to push to get a half a cc up. It won't go. It backs out. See it push back? Okay, very, very important to see that. I'll push up a little bit. Actually, it looks like it just started again. All right, very, very important to see that. You want to be mindful. You've been paying attention to this. A couple of things, like I said, could happen. You push too hard, it'll back free. Push too hard, and it breaks free. You're going to get too much pressure inside your vein. You don't want to do that. Another thing also is if for some reason it comes out of the vein, you'll start seeing the area fill up with ozone and you'll start feeling a little bit of a burn, okay? So very, very important to see that as well. Also, what you can do is you can actually hear if it starts leaking, if you're not in the vein correctly, okay, you'll start seeing you'll start hearing some air come out. So it'll sound like a little bit of air coming out, maybe a high-pitched noise, stuff like that. So you want to be mindful of that as well. Now, also, if let's say you think air is coming out, you can actually tap on it and you'll hear a very hollow noise. So it won't be like the regular part of your skin where you don't hear any hollow noise. Excuse me. The ozone is actually, I could feel it in my chest. Well, sometimes you get a little short of breath there, but that'll go away in about 20 minutes. But I'll tap the area. It's not coming out there, so we're good. Now, if for some reason you hear that noise where it's leaking a little, what I've done is I'll actually rest my arm in a different position. So I'll put it this way. And then when I go from my, excuse me, my 20 seconds, and I'll put another cc in there. Okay, you might hear it, might just change the position, put a little weight on it that way, and then it'll go away. If it doesn't, okay, and it continues on doing that, what you can do at that point is just pull out, because you might not be, if it's really leaking, you're not getting any ozone, it's just coming out, okay? And if it did stop, okay, at that point, what you want to do is just pull it out. You're not getting any ozone, and you're just wasting your time, and you don't want to run the risk of getting ozone under your skin here. Very, very important to see. All right, I'm at 26. All right, I'm just at the end here, so just so you know, it feels like the vein stopped. It's not going as smooth as it did. I'm going to try it one more time there, push a little bit. It's going now. So for me, it's at this vein here, it's just about at a full 60 cc, which is my second one. So it's about 120. So remember, veins are supposed to be, they're only used for carrying blood. That's it. Okay? Not anything else. They don't like to be poked with needles or what have you. So if you feel pushback, you feel something's not right, you feel heaviness in your chest, you're breaking a sweat, okay, listen, err on the side of caution. And then what you'll do is just pull it out. It's not a big deal. All right, so look, I'm done, okay? So that's over with. What I'm gonna do at this point now is I'm gonna pull, and I pull the bandage, or the tape I should say, up. Okay, put that down there, and I pull it up towards the syringe, the needle, up the arm. Okay, now just get your pad from before that has the peroxide on it, and you're just gonna pull it out. Okay, just put it right there. Careful not to stick yourself. Now, what I want you to do is just apply pressure on there for a few minutes. Okay, so very, very important to see that. Okay, let me just back out here real quick so we can have a little chat. All right, there you have it. And that's how you do DIV at home, your DIY DIV at home. Just keep some pressure on that for another couple minutes, and then I'll wind up putting the Band-Aid on. But if you guys have any questions, drop them in the comments below. If you feel this was a benefit to you and you got a lot out of it, do a thumbs up, like the video, and definitely don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be releasing a video at least every week on different topics. This week happens to be on DIV Ozone Therapy. I'm going to be releasing other videos as well. If there's a video that or a question that you'd like to see, just drop it in the comments below, and I'll be more than happy to take a look at it and put a video together. All right, take care, guys. Have a great day.